Hey friends, I want to talk to you today about something that I hear from pianists a lot. A lot of serious, thoughtful musicians say to me, hey, I'm practicing a lot. I'm putting in the work, yet I feel stuck in my progress and I am frustrated. What's surprising in all of this is that it's usually not for lack of effort that they're not making progress. They're working really, really hard. So what's the deal? Effort has become the strategy, and that's a failing strategy. But many of us in traditional piano playing were taught this equation: more effort equals more accomplished. Or put another way, more progress equals more effort. So when something isn't working, we try harder, we press more, we repeat more, and we tighten more. And in the short term, that can sort of produce results, but over time, it often leads to physical tension, uneven control, fatigue, an unreliable technique, and heaven forbid, injury. You start to feel like you're always managing the instrument rather than collaborating with it. I've come to see this from different angles. As a performing pianist, a teacher, and a piano technician who looks inside the piano and repairs pianos and tunes pianos, from all three of these perspectives, the pattern is the same. When something feels hard at the piano, the problem usually isn't that the pianist isn't trying hard enough. It's that different parts of their playing aren't working together. Their technique is often separated from their sound. Their physical movement is separate from their musical intention, and their practice habits are scattered and made up. In other words, things are fragmented. And when things are fragmented, the only tool that we have is effort. Much of my thinking about this has been shaped with study of the Taubman Approach with Edna Galansky of the Galansky Institute. The Taubman Approach is centered on integration. It brings all of these movements together to produce a stable technique, a reliable technique that you can count on in performance. So that alignment, rotation, shaping, and all of these amazing parts of the Taubman Approach can bring pianists to a place where they're playing with ease and artistic freedom. This perspective has deeply influenced how I understand technique, practice, and performance. So what I'm interested in both my playing and in the way I teach, is integration. And integration means movement that actually supports the sound you want. Technique that understands how the body actually works, rooted in the Taubman Approach. Practice that builds reliability instead of anxiety. Relationship with the instrument that feels collaborative rather than combative. When those elements start working together, something really important happens. You often use less effort and you gain more progress. Playing starts to feel more stable, more predictable, and more expressive. Not because you're pushing harder, but you're learning how the body works, and it all becomes integrated into one complete unit. Things are fully aligned. This matters because most pianists don't quit because they don't love music. They get discouraged because they feel physically limited, they don't trust their own playing, or they feel like they're constantly fighting the instrument. If effort is your only lever, progress will always feel fragile. But when coordination, listening, and movement start to integrate, progress becomes more sustainable and often more enjoyable. This idea of integration is really the foundation of the work I'm doing right now through a program I've called the Integrated Pianist. It's a structured way of helping pianists bring these different elements, techniques, sound, movement, imagination, improvisation, into a more coherent relationship with the Taubman Approach. But whether or not you ever join something like that, this is the shift I think is worth exploring. Not how can I try harder, but how can I get more of my playing working together? So if this way of thinking resonates with you, I'll be sharing more ideas like this here about technique, practice, improvisation, and even what working inside pianos has taught me about playing. So feel free to subscribe. And if you'd ever like to talk about your own piano playing and see whether this kind of integrated Taubman-informed approach might be helpful for you, there's a link below where you can get in touch with me and set up a call. Thanks for listening and happy practicing.